Doing what?
Television show production. Begging you, please delete this stuff. This is my reputation, bro. I apologize for saying what I said to you. Please, man.
But you said it was cap though. What was cap, Demetrius?
Celina, I said that to get the post deleted, Celina.
Okay. You're right. But now you want to make me look like a liar in front of the internet. It's crazy, Demetrius.
That's not how I tried to make you seem. I apologize for that.
Damn, I can't help my cousin bring the bags in the house. We went to the grocery store, man.
That right there ain't the voice of a man calling shots or moving untouchable. That's the sound of somebody boxed in with nowhere left to run. You can hear it dripping straight through his voice, that panic, that desperation, like every single option already dried up. He keeps circling the same excuses, fumbling, scrambling, trying to sound convincing, but then comes the slip that ends the whole act. He admits flat out that he lied just to get Celina Powell to delete a post. That's not just embarrassing, that's career-ending humiliation.
Begging you, please, delete this stuff. This is my reputation, bro.
Once the internet catches you lying, it's over. There's no erasing it. Screenshots live forever, memes last longer than your reputation, and the clowns online, they don't ever let you forget. But here's where the story flips the whole myth upside down. For years, Big Meech carried that legend. BMF's untouchable kingpin, the man with millions hidden away in ceilings, stacked behind walls, offshore accounts locked up like treasure chests waiting to be claimed. The streets swore that when he finally walked out last October, he'd be stepping back into an empire, money piled sky high like mountains. But according to Celina Powell, that's nothing but smoke and mirrors. She claims the fairy tale ends right here, and the so-called fortune might not even exist at all. And don't forget, Celina Powell built her whole career off exposing rappers and celebrities. She jumped right into this scandal, saying the reality behind Meech is way worse than anybody thought. She didn't just say Lil Meech was broke, she said his father, Big Meech, is right there in the same position, living off favors instead of fortune. She swears she saw it firsthand when she spent time with Lil Meech, and what she describes is the total opposite of the baller image he's trying to project. According to her, he was strung out on pills, moving reckless, slipping heavy, and then came the moment that really shook people up. She says she stood there watching his Lamborghini Urus and Ferrari get snatched right from under him, not because of beef, not because of enemies, but because he couldn't even keep up with the sky-high payments and insurance. Imagine that!
It's good. Bye. Too good.
The son of a kingpin, standing powerless as the toys he flexed for the gram get repossessed like any regular broke boy. Now just stop and think about this for a second. Those flashy exotic cars come with insurance bills so insane they'll bleed you dry. We're talking $8,000 to $10,000 every 6 months. Just for insurance. That's like paying another car note, except this ain't even a house or business investment. It's a luxury you don't even truly own outright. And if your money isn't flowing non-stop, those bills will crush you quick. That lifestyle might look flawless on Instagram, but behind the scenes, it's nothing but drowning debt and sleepless nights. But Celina didn't stop at exposing repossessions. Oh no, she turned the knife even deeper. She claimed both Lil Meech and Big Meech are holed up in one of Floyd Mayweather's Miami mansions. Not owning it, not even leasing it, just posted up like it's some borrowed crash pad, an extended Airbnb type situation. And when you start connecting the dots, her story starts sounding way too real.
You got a famous mugshot. Yeah. What did you go to jail for?
That was a possession charge. A lot of my cases was drug possessions. Guys trying to get some money. I ain't had nothing. And then this is why even when this artist was around, he went and said, yo, 50, he don't even like them, like talking about BMF. And because I wouldn't mix in with them.
Right.
When they first came around, like I didn't connect. Buck was running around with him, and other people connected to him, but I wasn't going nowhere near him. I just came off a tour. I made $38 million, right. Legit money. Mm-hmm. What you said, they got the Wiz, right? Okay, so don't bring that around me. Now I'm making $38 million, legit money. I want nothing to do with that right now. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't make the connection until after.
Right.
That, you know, that blew over. And I'm just knowing my temperament, I don't need to be around that. And what were we conditioned for prior to any music working? You don't even put yourself in that situation.
Think about it. Remember when 50 Cent pulled the plug? First, he axed the BMF TV show. Then he canceled that massive welcome home concert for Big Meech. Those two moves wiped out their biggest money streams overnight. With that bridge burned, the whole financial foundation came crashing down with it. What once looked like an untouchable empire is now showing cracks so big, the whole world can see right through them.
And the first time I met 50, it was just genuine. And I sat by him and we actually got to watch people audition for a couple hours. And the next day he called me, 8 o'clock in the morning, woke me up. I'm like, damn, 50 calling me. So I answer the phone. He like, hey, what you think about going to acting classes? I want you to play your dad. And at first, it sounded crazy, but of course, I'm gonna do it. I'm not doing nothing. So of course I wanted to do it. I just didn't know if I could do it.
The draft from Randy because it was important to show the origin story, to see the innocence and how they chose to get involved, and then it grew.
And for people who remember the golden era of BMF, this fall from grace hits even harder. Back then, Big Meech wasn't just touching money, he was money. He didn't just flex, he rewrote the definition of what flexing meant. Picture this, Maybachs and Lambos lined up like toy cars, private jets always fueled and ready to take off, diamond watches flooding both wrists, designer clothes flowing like water. Clubs would literally shut down just to let BMF roll in. And the second they stepped through the door, cash rained so heavy it looked like autumn leaves falling from the sky. That was the manual on how to live larger than life, and rappers are still copying the blueprint to this day. Big Meech pioneered that whole culture of spending loud, showing power not by what you saved, but by how much you could blow in a single night.
On your food, baby.
I didn't even give you no time.
I'm waiting on your food. We made your food fresh. We waiting on your food, so what's the problem?
So you got my shirt ready.
Don't be crazy and wake up on me like this. Go ahead.
You don't know me and I love you.
You don't know me to love me, baby.
I'm just saying.
But I'm saying But I'm just saying. Why you say that? You don't know what you're doing now. I am being friendly. I'm giving you the same energy you're giving me.
Back then, tossing thousands across a club floor was the ultimate flex. But decades later, every single dollar that rained down is probably a dollar he wishes was still stacked in a vault somewhere. That's the cold truth. The same game that feeds you can turn around and starve you once the bills come knocking. Flexing reckless always comes with a price tag, and sooner or later somebody's gotta pay it. And the sting cuts even deeper when you watch Lil Meech buckle under that massive shadow. How do you come from one of the most legendary street empires ever, only to get exposed by Celina Powell of all people? Let's be real. She's not the type of woman men brag about. She's infamous for being the modern-day superhead, bouncing from one celebrity to the next, using her connections to climb up and then blasting private business the second the money dries up. That's her whole playbook, and everybody in the streets knows it. Any father with real game would tell his son straight up, steer clear of women like that, no hesitation. And Big Meech, who survived an era full of hustling, betrayal, and feds breathing down his neck, definitely knew that rule book inside out. But Lil Meech, he either didn't listen or thought his last name made him bulletproof. That's when the biggest mistakes get made. Celina didn't just brag about repossessed whips or the Mayweather mansion story. She went even harder with her shots. She straight up accused Lil Meech of having a heavy pill problem. That's not just dangerous for his health, that's a direct blow to his image and his credibility. Once people believe addiction's got you in a chokehold, every move you make gets judged through that lens. Suddenly, nothing looks solid anymore. And just when people thought she couldn't go further, she dropped her wildest bomb yet. She called him a snitch. According to her, it all traces back to a traffic stop where cops found a gun in the car. She claims instead of standing tall and taking the charge, Lil Meech pointed at his own homie, who ended up doing time while he walked away free. Now, whether Celina's story is facts or fiction, once a rumor like that hits the streets, especially with the Meech name attached, it's almost impossible to shake it off. A snitch label sticks like glue, and in street culture, even the slightest whisper of it can stain your entire legacy forever. Let's zoom out for a second. Imagine if the internet had been around during the height of BMF's reign. Every scandal, every flex, every rumor would have been blasted worldwide in seconds. Back then, dirt only spread through whispers, coded magazine articles, and word of mouth in the streets. But today, screenshots, recordings, and videos move across the internet faster than anyone can deny them. That's why in this new era, reality matters more than image. When you're truly up, there's no need to beg, fake, or overflex. But when you're broke in real life, still trying to stunt for social media, there will always be somebody who knows the truth, and they'll come forward with receipts to back it up. And that's exactly what we're watching play out right now. Public flexing, private begging, that's the storyline. And when the name Meech is tied to it, it hits 10 times harder. The hidden lesson in all this is simple. Live within your means. If money's running dry, there's no shame in dropping the flashy act. Forget the Lambos, the Ferraris, and the sky-high bills, because those toys will drown you way faster than they'll impress strangers online. There's nothing wrong with pulling up in a Honda, Toyota, or any clean ride if it keeps your bills straight and your peace steady. Real stability will always shine brighter than fake luxury, and if times get rough, sell off the extras, pawn the jewelry, drop the dead weight, and start stacking in silence. Quiet money always grows loud, because once you reach the point where you're begging people to delete posts, scrambling on calls, and doing desperate damage control, the damage is already sealed. And in today's world, every call can be recorded, every DM screenshotted, and every slip-up one click away from going viral. Nothing stays secret anymore, and once it lands on the internet, it's stamped there forever. And on top of all the money drama, Lil Meech has another mountain in front of him. If those rumors about him drowning in pills are true, then that explains half the reckless choices and sloppy behavior we've been watching unfold again and again. When somebody's high, they move desperate, trusting the wrong people, saying the wrong things, making promises they can't keep. By the time the high fades and reality kicks in, the damage is already locked in. The footage is out, the screenshots are saved, the audio clips are everywhere. That's the perfect recipe for a career to crash right in front of everyone's eyes. And that's exactly what we're watching unravel. Recordings surfacing left and right, wild allegations stacking up nonstop, exposure hitting back to back. It's not just dragging Lil Meech down, it's making his father look weak by association. The empire they built brick by brick is now crumbling like dust blowing in the wind. And let's be real, Big Meech himself isn't the same untouchable giant he was in the 90s and early 2000s. Back then, BMF wasn't just big, it was legendary. Fleets of exotic cars lined up, private jets waiting on standby, VIP sections locked down, and their grip on the music game was undeniable. Just being tied to BMF could boost an artist's whole career overnight. Look at how Young Jeezy blew up off that connection. That's how much weight the movement carried back then. But fast forward to today, and it's a different world entirely. That type of flashy empire can't survive under the all-seeing eye of social media. Cameras are everywhere, eyes are everywhere, and the tiniest crack in your image gets blown up to full scale in seconds. Instead of quiet power building in the shadows, the Meech legacy is taking hit after hit online, exposed to millions who are watching the downfall play out in real time. What makes this entire downfall even wilder is how public the receipts are becoming. Back in the day, BMF built its power on mystique, whispers in the streets, coded conversations, stories that blurred the line between legend and fact. But now, everything is wide open. Every phone call, every screenshot, every shaky recording gets blasted online, dissected frame by frame. That aura of untouchable mystery is gone. And the problem isn't just Lil Meech stumbling, it's the weight of the name he carries. The Meech brand used to mean power, respect, and money flowing like water. Today it's tied to internet scandals, repossessed cars, pill rumors, and snitch accusations. That shift doesn't just affect him, it rewrites how a whole generation views BMF. Imagine growing up hearing stories about an empire larger than life, only to see the heir exposed by viral clips and celebrity gossip pages. That contrast hits hard. On top of that, the entertainment industry doesn't play with damaged reputations. Once an artist or figure gets painted with instability, brands back off, shows get canceled, and partnerships disappear overnight. Remember, 50 Cent already cut ties, shutting down both the BMF series and the comeback concert. That wasn't just business, it was a warning sign. Nobody wants to gamble money on a crumbling image. What's even more dangerous for Lil Meech is how street politics intersect with the internet. Being labeled a snitch, whether true or not, is deadly in both reputational and personal terms. In that world, trust is everything. Lose it. And you don't just lose credibility, you lose protection. People who once stood beside you may start distancing themselves fast. And in a lifestyle built on alliances, That's lethal. At the same time, the culture around flexing has changed. Younger fans don't see the same glamour and reckless spending anymore. They're quick to call out fake luxury and staged wealth. Instead of applause, the internet now eats it alive. That puts Lil Meech in a corner, where the very style of living his father created now feels outdated and dangerous. The empire that once symbolized power is now looking like a cautionary tale playing out live in front of millions. In the end, what we're really watching is the unraveling of a family that once stood as untouchable giants, feared, respected, and admired. Now, they're being dragged down by their own mistakes, stripped of the myth they spent decades building. A father who once wrote the rule book on how to shine is now sitting quiet in the background, popping up in photos but rarely speaking, while his son spirals out in public for the whole world to pick apart like a spectacle. And the same fans who once idolized them, they're now sitting back like it's a Netflix series, grabbing popcorn while the downfall plays out in real time. The narrative has flipped completely. From legends of power and money to cautionary tales about pride, ego, and poor choices under the spotlight. The lesson here couldn't be louder or clearer. Don't build your whole image on lies because the internet has a way of exposing every crack. Don't blow your money on luxuries you can't afford to maintain because the flex only lasts as long as the bills are paid. And never, ever hand access to people who thrive off airing out your weakness, because once you're exposed, the internet doesn't forgive, it doesn't forget, and the same crowd that hypes you today will flip on you tomorrow without hesitation. What was once seen as an empire of untouchable power has now become an open book of mistakes, receipts, and scandals. And once that switch flips, there's no rewinding it, no erasing the screenshots, no putting the smoke back in the bottle. The Meech legacy is being rewritten live, not through whispers in the streets, but through viral clips, gossip blogs, and trending hashtags watched by millions. If you rocked with this breakdown, make sure to smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, share this video with your people, and of course, hit that subscribe so you don't miss the next big scandal. I'll see you on the next one, and don't click away just yet. Watch the next video that's about to pop up on your screen for even more wild celebrity drama.